Man, the maker of his destiny.
We are responsible for what we are, and whatever we wish ourselves to be, we have the power to make ourselves. If what we are now has been the result of our own past actions, it certainly follows that whatever we wish to be in future can be produced by our present actions. So we have to know how to act. This human body is the greatest body in the universe, and a human being the greatest being. Man is higher than all animals, than all angels. None is greater than man. Man is man so long as he is struggling to rise above nature, and this nature is both internal and external. And if we read the history of nations between the lines, we shall always find that the rise of a nation comes with an increase in the number of such men, and the fall begins when the pursuit after the infinite, however vain the utilitarians may call it, has ceased. That is to say, the mainspring of the strength of every race lies in its spirituality, and the death of that race begins the day that spirituality wanes and materialism gains ground. This world is the great gymnasium where we come to make ourselves strong. All healthy social changes are the manifestations of the spiritual forces working within, and if these are strong and well adjusted, society will arrange itself accordingly. Each individual has to work out his own salvation. There is no other way, and so also with nations. It is very easy to point out the defects of institutions, all being more or less imperfect. But he is the real benefactor of humanity, who helps the individual to overcome his imperfections under whatever institutions he may live. The individuals being raised, the nation and its institutions are bound to rise. You have to grow from inside out. None can teach you, none can make you spiritual. There is no other teacher but your own soul. Men in general lay all the blame of life on their fellow men, or failing that, on God, or they conjure up a ghost and say it is fate. Where is fate, and who is fate? We reap what we sow. We are the makers of our own fate. None else has the blame, none has the praise. The wind is blowing. Those vessels whose sails are unfurled catch it and go forward on their way, but those which have their sails furled do not catch the wind. Is that the fault of the wind? Say, this misery that I am suffering is of my own doing, and that very thing proves that it will have to be undone by me alone. That which I created, I can demolish. That which is created by someone else, I shall never be able to destroy. Therefore, stand up, be bold, be strong. Take the whole responsibility on your own shoulders, and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. All the strength and succor you want is within yourselves. Make your own future. Let the dead past bury its dead. The infinite future is before you, and you must always remember that each word, thought, and deed lays up a store for you, and that as the bad thoughts and bad works are ready to spring upon you like tigers, so also there is the inspiring hope that the good thoughts and good deeds are ready with the power of 100,000 angels to defend you always and forever. Ours not to reason why, ours but to do and die. Be of good cheer and believe that we are selected by the Lord to do great things, and we will do them. Unfortunately, in this life, the vast majority of persons are groping through this dark life without any ideal at all. If a man with an ideal makes 1,000 mistakes, I am sure that the man without an ideal makes 50,000. Therefore, it is better to have an ideal. Man begins to struggle and fight against nature. He makes many mistakes. He suffers. But eventually, he conquers nature and realizes his freedom. When he is free, nature becomes his slave. I disagree with the idea that freedom is obedience to the laws of nature. I do not understand what that means. According to the history of human progress, it is disobedience to nature that has constituted that progress. For the world can be good and pure only if our lives are good and pure. It is an effect, and we are the means. Therefore, let us purify ourselves. Let us make ourselves perfect. What is the use of fighting and complaining? That will not help us to better things. He who grumbles at the little thing that has fallen to his lot to do will grumble at everything. Always grumbling, he will lead a miserable life, and everything will be a failure. But that man who does his duty as he goes, putting his shoulder to the wheel, will see the light, and higher duties will fall to his share. Do not fly away from the wheels of the world machine, but stand inside it and learn the secret of work. Through proper work done inside, it is also possible to come out. Every thought that we think, every deed that we do, after a certain time becomes fine, goes into seed form, so to speak, and lives in the fine body in a potential form, and after a time it emerges again and bears its results. These results condition the life of man. Thus he molds his own life. Man is not bound by any other laws excepting those which he makes for himself. My ideal, indeed, can be put into a few words, and that is, to preach unto mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every moment of life. Purity, patience, and perseverance are the three essentials to success, and above all, love. Life is ever expanding, contraction is death. The self-seeking man who's looking after his personal comforts and leading a lazy life, there is no room for him, even in hell. I'm sure God will pardon a man who will use his reason and cannot believe, rather than a man who believes blindly instead of using the faculties he has given him. We must reason, and when reason proves to us the truth of these prophets and great men about whom the ancient books speak in every country, we shall believe in them. We shall believe in them when we see such prophets among ourselves. We shall then find that they were not peculiar men, but only illustrations of certain principles. Why should you not try to hit the mark? We become wiser through failures. Time is infinite. Look at the wall. Did the wall ever tell a lie? It is always the wall. Man tells a lie and becomes a god too. It is better to do something, never mind, even if it proves to be wrong. It is better than doing nothing. The cow never tells a lie, but she remains a cow all the time. Go on doing good, thinking holy thoughts continuously. That is the only way to suppress base impressions. Never say any man is hopeless, because he only represents a character, a bundle of habits, which can be checked by new and better ones. Character is repeated habits, and repeated habits alone can reform character. The chaste brain has tremendous energy and gigantic willpower. We can overcome the difficulty by constant practice. We must learn that nothing can happen to us unless we make ourselves susceptible to it. I was once traveling in the Himalayas, and the long road stretched before us. We poor monks cannot get anyone to carry us, so we had to make all the way on foot. There was an old man with us. He said, "Oh sir, how to cross it? I cannot walk any more. My chest will break." I said to him, "Look down at your feet." He did so, and I said, "The road that is under your feet is the road that you have passed over, and is the same road that you see before you. It will soon be under your feet. The highest things are under your feet because you are divine stars." It is the coward and the fool who says, "This is fate." So says the Sanskrit proverb. But it is the strong man who stands up and says, "I will make my fate." It is people who are getting old who talk of fate. Young men generally do not come to astrology. If you really want to judge of the character of a man, look not at his great performances. Every fool may become a hero at one time or another. Watch a man do his most common actions. Those are indeed the things which will tell you the real character of a great man. Great occasions rouse even the lowest of human beings to some kind of greatness. But he alone is the really great man whose character is great always, the same wherever he be. Every good thought that we send to the world without thinking of any return will be stored up there and break one link in the chain, and make us purer and purer until we become the purest of mortals. If you project hatred and jealousy, they will rebound on you with compound interest. No power can avert them. When once you have put them in motion, you will have to bear them. Remembering this will prevent you from doing wicked things. Everything is conscious which rebels against nature. There, consciousness is manifested. Just try to kill a little ant, even it will once resist to save its life. Where there is struggle, where there is rebellion, there is the sign of life. There, consciousness is manifested. Isn't it man that makes money? Where did you ever hear of money making man? If you can make your thoughts and words perfectly at one, if you can, I say, make yourself one in speech and action, money will pour in at your feet of itself like water. The road to the good is the roughest and steepest in the universe. It is a wonder that so many succeed. No wonder that so many fall. Character has to be established through 1,000 stumbles. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines or dogmas or rituals or books or temples or forms are but secondary details. Each one thinks his method is best. Very good. But remember, it may be good for you. One food which is very indigestible to one is very digestible to another. Because it is good for you, do not jump to the conclusion that your method is everybody's method. The Jack's coat fits John and Mary. All the uneducated, uncultured, unthinking men and women have been put into that sort of straitjacket. Think for yourselves. Become atheists. Become materialists. That would be better. Exercise the mind. What right have you to say that this man's method is wrong? It may be wrong for you. That is to say, if you undertake the method, you will be degraded. But that does not mean that he will be degraded. Therefore, if you have knowledge and see a man weak, do not condemn him. Go to his level and help him if you can. He must grow. I can put 5 bucketfuls of knowledge into his head in 5 hours, but what good will it do? He will be a little worse than before. Go and preach to all. Arise, awake, sleep no more. Within each of you, there is the power to remove all wants and all miseries. Believe this, and that power will be manifested. If you can think that infinite power, infinite knowledge, and indomitable energy lie within you, and if you can bring out that power, you also can become like me.